Hello, welcome to Creative Cousins. If you are new, we are two cousins and we make art. Today, we are going to be doing a quick deep dive on Berthe Morisot. And she's a painter from the Impressionist era of art. She did a lot of Impressionist painting. So we're going to talk about that. Yeah. How's it going, Allie?
Feeling good. How are you?
I'm good. We were just ranting about, AI minutes before recording. And so, I'm a little more calmed down. A little more calmed down. I'm fine now. But I was a little heated. But, I'm
I'm
good
feeling
now.
I'm feeling good. Except for my poor tailbone that I fell on
Oh,
New Year's
right.
Eve.
Right.
Um, and I'm hoping that I won't need to take a break from sitting during this episode, but if you see
Oh,
me stand
right.
up at any point,
I
then
forgot.
you'll know why.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, this is like super embarrassing but kind of funny story, so I guess I'll tell it really
Yeah,
quick.
yes, yes.
On New Year's Eve, I was invited to be the tarot reader for the New Year's Eve party at Bar 25 in Newburyport, and it was a good night up until the very end where I took a classic tumble down the stairs.
Oh.
So yeah, your girl is banged up, but I'm here. It's extremely embarrassing to admit, but I'm so glad that no one actually saw it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, because what was the stairs? Was like the stairs inside the
It was
bar?
the Well, it was the employee stairs, so it was like the stairs in the back of the restaurant, which are like narrow and like behind the kitchen. So,
So like the
it
employees, they don't
wasn't
need
like
proper stairs. It's.
correct. Um, yeah, and I was wearing heels and literally like I was carrying my tarot cards in one hand and walking down the stairs, and I had a glass of water in the other hand
Oh
because I
boy.
was trying desperately to hydrate because it was such a long night. Um, but one of my foot slipped, or both of my feet slipped out from under me, and my tailbone hit the stairs first.
Yeah.
Then the middle of my back hit, and then I slid down the rest of the flight of the stairs. And my tarot cards went flying everywhere. There was water on the floor. It was a whole thing.
Was that actual glass? Like, did that break or anything? Or
The glass did not break because I had a vice grip on that thing. So the glass stayed in my hand, but the water sloshed out everywhere.
yeah.
And then the cards went flying.
Oh my God.
And yeah.
Did anyone come help you? Did anyone hear it or anything?
So someone walked in like 30 seconds later. My friend Sarah walked in like 30 seconds later and she was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Oh,
Because I was still on the floor. Um
yikes.
yeah. It's kind of funny though. I can laugh about it now.
Yeah. I've definitely fallen downstairs and yeah, you go your tailbone first and then you just slide. And then when you slide, you just like it's a really scary feeling of like, I have no control over this right now. I am just falling. Yay.
Yeah. It is actually
It
terrifying.
is terrifying.
Um, and then you're usually also getting the wind knocked out of you, so
yeah.
I can't even breathe after.
I can't
It's been a
complain.
few
Neither am
years
I.
since I had a fall like that, but a few years ago I also fell on my tailbone on a
Oh,
different
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my tailbone has just seen better days. But anyway, I want to hear about this artist. So can you tell me how you found her or what led you to see her work?
This is kind of was inspired by a recent exhibition that Sean and I went to on Sunday. So we actually went to an exhibit that was called Manet and Morisot. They are both impressionist painters, and they were kind of like really close, like really good friends. They were actually like Manet was her brother-in-law. Manet is like a really famous impressionist. People confuse him with Monet, but they're different people, but they're around the same time period, but different
Oh,
people.
you're right. Yeah, I've seen the two spellings of those.
Yeah. And so they did a lot of artwork together. And so the exhibit kind of showed a lot of their paintings that influenced each other because,
So she worked with Manet, Manet, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And
Edouard.
then Monet is what? It's Monet, and there's an accent on that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just like one letter off. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're all impressionists though. So impressionist painting is like a style that kind of come up in like the mid 1800s basically, and it's basically the brush strokes are a lot looser. Everything is kind of it might have the edges of the canvases may have a little bit more of an unfinished feeling. It's very like, you know, an impression of what you saw, kind of. It's kind of what they call impressionism. The artwork is not super realistic. It's not, you know, very tight brushstrokes. Like my art style is very not impressionism because I have like a really tight style of painting where like I want to draw a lot of the details. But I do really, even though it's not really my art style, I like it so much. Like I want to do like I want to be a looser painter. Like I want to be able to
I know, I
go.
remember you saying that. I remember you saying that recently that you're like actually trying to paint more loosely.
Yeah. Not with the one behind me. That one's going to be a different thing, but I want to eventually paint a little bit more loosely. They're like it's, you know, it's like a time and place for me. It's like the paintings that take like 100 hours to paint are not going to be loose paintings. Like you're trying to be very detailed. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to paint
I
in
was
a
gonna say it's
style
probably less
that's,
time.
yeah, like if you're trying to paint a la prima basically just means like in one sitting, like you're just, it's like
Bob
a
Ross.
paint, yeah, it's like a painting that you just, I guess, yeah, yeah, basically. Bob Ross did, yeah, it's no multiple layers. It's like you're gonna finish this painting in one sitting and you're gonna just paint wet on wet, which means you're not gonna let the painting dry at all. You're just gonna paint it when it's wet. My painting behind me is not oh, a la prima. It is not wet on wet. It is like many, many layers that you build up. Like you start off like doing one layer at a time and you let a painting dry and then you add on another layer. And you can't like if I want to add, like when I was doing this fish right here, that fish is probably like 5 different layers because you have to like this particular fish has like multiple details on it. It has like multiple like fins and all these different colors on top of it. Anyway, so you have to let it dry because if you want to like paint a lighter color on top of a darker color, if you don't let it dry, then it's going to mix. So it's like
Right.
if you want to make a highlight on top of the fish with white or like a light yellow, you can't just put it on top of blue if the blue is wet because you're just going to get green. So, you know, anyway.
Yeah, I mean at least you can't like be like rubbing it in. You could probably put like how Bob Ross does when he adds highlights at the end. But
Yeah,
he
there's,
it's not like he's like going over it multiple times, like there's less details kind of just like slapping it on there.
yeah, I mean, there's different techniques that you can do. Like when you're doing a la prima, you still have highlights and shadows, but it's not going to be as subtle. You're not going to have like subtle
Yeah,
highlights.
and you can't do it as many layers, I'm sure, of
Yeah.
highlights. Like I feel like when you're doing it over time more, you can add like a yellow layer highlight and then on top of that you add like a white or whatever, but you can't do that like in one sitting.
Yeah, so exactly. So when you have multiple layers, people often will think that, you know, when your painting's more layered, you're gonna have a more subtle but like more satisfying like layer, like a light. Like your light is gonna be more like realistic, more you know, dynamic. I don't know. It's just gonna
I got you.
it's gonna shine
Yeah.
more. It's gonna be more luminous. So it depends. So both methods are fine. It just kind of depends what you're trying to go for. It's like just like, you know, you're not gonna use a steak knife when you're cutting bread. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. or not the dome. That one came up. That was
That was good. Yep.
so yeah. Anyway, Impressionism. Impressionism is a very different style, but I really like it. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to go into showing some pictures. The first one, so when Allie, you share the pictures, the first one, can you guess if this is actually painted by Morisot?
I mean, it says at the top right,
Uh-huh.
Manet.
Yes.
So this is like a trick question, I feel like.
Yeah, it's not Morisot, it's Manet. So I wanted to start with this one because it is a painting of her by
Oh.
Manet. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so that's what she looks like. And they are both impressionists, so they both have that impressionist style. And Manet had a lot like a darker color palette, but eventually Manet was influenced by her lighter color palette. So you can eventually, which is why the exhibit was super cool because you could see her influences on him and how she
And vice
did
versa,
like
yeah.
yeah, it was really cool. And how like their color palette, like he tried to do a similar like there's like a painting that we'll see later that I don't have mayonnaise in there, but there's a painting that she did that he also did a very similar version of and like tried to like mimic her style. But they were really,
Wow.
really close. Yeah. So he basically convinced her to like marry his brother. Like, you like, so like, like they're like sister and brother-in-law, but they're like really close. And like they were, like she was his muse. Like she was also like in a lot of his paintings and she was a
I
painter
wonder why they didn't
herself.
get married.
I mean, who knows? They might not have, were into it. I don't know. So, they were just really close and she was one of the few like female artists at the time that were like accepted into like an impressionist exhibition in 1874. Like she was the first one because a lot of times, it's the Victorian era, so women you're supposed to stay at home and all that.
Right.
So how dare you be an artist and
She probably
expect
also
your
had to
work
like,
to be in the forefront? It's not allowed. What are you
I'd
saying?
imagine too, like if she wasn't friends with him, would have been a lot harder for her to get in
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Like if you have a man vouch for you, you can probably do it.
Yeah. So she did get along with a lot of the guys that were very popular in Impressionism, like Degas, Renoir. She kind of knew a lot of them, and like she did like get along with them. A lot of them like liked her, so she was able to kind of get in there. She also came from like an upper middle class family. Like, if you were poor, you would not be able to do this either. Like, so she did have a lot of like, things going for her. So if there was a woman to be able to do it, it's going to be her. Other women did, there were like, other artists at the time that were popular, but I think she was one of the ones that, at least in 1874, was like the first impressionist woman. Yeah, and so she painted a lot of like the domestic world in the 19th century. She did a lot of like indoor scenes, kind of similar to another impressionist artist who was a woman, Mary Cassatt, I think. Cassatt did a lot of similar subject matter, but their style I feel like is pretty different. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the next one, and I try to make this like mostly in order to kind of like look at her earlier work and then her later work. So you can see here, this one I believe is called The Harbor at Lorient or Lorient. I'm not really sure. Everybody's French, which is very bad for me. I don't know how to say French words. And yeah, this one is painted en plein air. En plein air is basically when you're painting outside in plein air, on plein air. So it shows her sister Edma sitting on a stone wall. So she likes to paint her family a lot, and so is her sister. And you could kind of see that impressionist style. You can't see too much of the details, but you get
So it was
a
done in
feeling.
like one sitting?
Yeah. So, because a lot of times when you paint outside, you do just finish it when
Yeah,
you're
because like
outside.
the weather, and I'd imagine too, like the weather varies day to day, like the scene looks different.
Um, and then you might see here how like her paintings in this style. So in this painting, when you see it later in her other paintings, it's actually the water is like more structured. Eventually, she starts doing this more like zigzaggy kind of paint stroke, but this one has a lot less of it. So you'll kind of see it a little bit in the next ones coming up, but that's because it's kind of she's starting out, kind of figuring out her style. This is like 1869, so it's a little bit earlier on.
It's very soft. It's almost like, I don't know, almost reminds me of film.
Oh yeah, yeah. She liked a lot of that soft color palette, like a lot of. I think that like she liked to use a lot of like light colors, so that would make
Yeah,
sense.
I mean the colors make it look soft too, but I think also just like the style, the brush strokes and everything, make it look very like you said, you can't see a lot of detail. It's kind of like hazy.
Yeah, she did not. Also, her line work was not really that like harsh. She didn't really have a lot of harsh lines, which is
Correct. Yeah, there's
actually
not
what
harsh lines.
I thought was interesting because when they did that exhibition I saw with Manet and Morisot, you could like tell the difference between them because Manet's brushstrokes were a lot harsher than hers. I thought so. I thought that was like interesting. Anyway, you can go to the next one. Okay, this is actually in the same year or around the same year. It's the mother and sister of the artist, I guess that's what it's called. And so I'm assuming her mom is on the right and her sister is on the left. And yeah, so this is another example of the kinds of scenes that she would paint. A lot of indoor scenes, which is in contrast to a lot of the men at the time. Those artists would paint more like they would never really paint domestic life. Uh, so yeah, this is also her sister was actually a painter as well, but her sister, I guess, stopped painting after she got married. So, but she was apparently talented. I don't have any of those pictures of her sister's
Isn't
painting.
there like a quote about that or something like how many talented women have we lost to marriage or something?
No,
I
I
feel
don't
like
ever.
someone famous said that and I can't remember who it was.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but that's the time period. That's the time period that they were living in. So chances are you would give up stuff after you got married.
apparently it was Cruella de Vil in Disney's 101 Dalmatians
Oh, she said that.
said more good women have been lost to marriage than to war, famine, disease, and disaster.
Well, that's uplifting. Uh,
You know, it wasn't the quote I was thinking of. I think there's a similar quote, but
yeah, I get the sentiment. I get what she's saying. Uh, you
yeah,
know, but
especially in that era, I feel like because you were expected to just do like homely duties and just like sit there and crochet.
yeah, and even like the type of painting style that you do also was like more scandalous than others. So like women at the time, like in the Victorian era and even before that, they could do stuff like watercolors. Like, oh, a lot of them learned how to paint watercolors. Like a lot of they did creative stuff. But then if you got something like oil paint, that's like, oh, that's a man's medium. You're not supposed to be getting oil paint because they kind of consider like watercolors as like more like frivolous and like less
Feminine.
serious.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Because like you're not going to create these big, massive, famous paintings. They didn't create that with watercolor. Well, maybe some of them, but most of them was done with oil paint. Like only serious painters use oil paint. So it's like, yeah, you do your silly little watercolors. But that's fine. We can do that. But it's less likely that, oil paint, hold the phone.
Wow,
Anyway,
that's
I'm sure
crazy.
not everyone thought that, but I know that was like a thing that if you were going to be doing painting, it was probably watercolor if you're a woman. Up to a certain point, I'm sure. And apparently, they say that Edma here, who's the sister, she is supposed to be looking like melancholy. Like she supposedly they say that, oh, she's reflecting the loss of her art career post marriage. Like she looks bored.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she doesn't have a lot of expression on her face. The mom is just reading, but the daughter is just kind of like sitting there, like, you know.
Yeah, she does kind of look bored, actually.
So yeah,
I don't
they're
think she looks sad, but she definitely looks bored.
yeah. So they think that she's reflecting the loss of her artistic career. Who knows? But anyway, we can go to the next one. Okay, so this next one is called The Cradle. It's from 1872. It was one of her most famous artwork. She actually showed it at the first Impressionist exhibition in 1874. And this is a very like intimate kind of picture, something that they would probably not see in those exhibitions because at the time a lot of paintings were more like these like epic paintings depicting like a story, or like they would depict like mythology, or they would depict certain things that are more like this like grand subject matter, or it would be, or you could also see landscapes, but very rarely would you see just like a simple moment of a mother and her child. Like it was like it's kind of like more intimate because it's like those are things that you don't just see all the time. So it's just kind of showing a different kind of world. But I like it though because like there's like the kind of like a gauzy kind of
It's definitely a feminine
thing
perspective. Like, I
over the
think
child.
maybe that's why it wasn't seen a lot because there's like a special perspective there, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I could see a man like painting this, at least not in the same way.
Maybe not like in the time period, you know.
Yeah.
So she kind of just
But I
she.
like I like how she made the choice to have the baby be like shrouded.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I feel like that is a very feminine, like that's a very feminine choice. I'm not sure why, but
I think it adds to the like the intimacy of the moment, like the how like it's like a
right,
private moment. It really adds to that because she's not really showing the child off really. It's just kind of the child is there and she's just kind of in the moment. And I think just adding that is just like makes it more private, I guess. But I also like the composition of this a lot. I like the sloping
me too.
of the cradle, and I just like, and then the lines of like the shape behind her. Yeah,
I know.
I really like the
I
composition of
agree.
this one. It's really good, and I like that the mother is like just like also looking at the child, so you all kind of like your eye just goes to the child, even though the child is like kind of
Right.
fixed.
Even though the child isn't like the focus,
Yeah,
you're still looking at her.
yeah, exactly.
I also obviously like the colors again, but I like how the colors are like not uniform. Like they're kind of like mixed. I don't know like the right way to say it, but it's not just like a solid blue. She mixes yellow in there or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's pretty dynamic. There's a lot of like good variety of colors in there. It's not just like it's very light. It's like white, but she has like a lot of different shades in there. She like puts in a lot of like nice different colors in there. Uh, and like it's a good contrast too. It's like a good contrast from the mom who is wearing like darker clothes. Like it's a little bit darker, and then everything else is like lighter, which would help with focusing on the main subject matter. Now we can, I think we can probably move on to the next one. So,
Oh, I think this is my favorite.
oh,
I
yeah,
think this is my favorite so far.
I do like this one a lot. It's called Hide and Seek, 1873. So, what is different about this one is that it is a more leisurely scene again. It's like a mother and her child playing, which is also, once again, a different kind of take on what they normally would see in a painting. And it's also a landscape, but you can really compare this landscape to her original landscape. Do you think it looks like pretty different?
Yeah, I'd say this one looks a lot different.
Yeah, because her brushstrokes have gotten a lot more like
Sharper.
sharper, shorter. So she has like more feathery kind of brushstrokes, like the grass and everything. It's not painted
There's
blade by
more
blade.
definition,
Yeah, that's true. And then
higher contrast.
it is a little more contrasty. I love the little hat for the daughter. It's so
This is so
cute.
cute. Like, I want to make this my phone background.
It is
It's
really
so
cute.
cute.
Also, I feel like these colors look warmer than some of the other paintings we've seen. Um,
Yeah.
you'll see eventually she also does like she does a lot of like white in her paintings, and she can make white look very different. She's like really good at making like subtle changes in color, like subtle changes in white and shades of white. Like she'll how like add some little bit of blue, a little bit of like pink, and I think like like somehow like it still looks different. Anyway, yeah, it's really cute. I really like this painting, but yeah, not much else really. But I'm glad you like it. It's very cute.
I do. I think there's a lot more, yeah, there's a lot more warmth in yellow green. I really just like the contrast of like the tree against like the white. And like maybe this is just personal preference because I tend to like more like things with higher contrast.
Me too.
Um, I definitely like this better.
Yeah, yeah. She's kind of at this point, like in the early 1870s, she really is kind of coming into her style more.
I like you can also see the red lipstick on the mother.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, she really makes that the red like really
There's a
pops,
little more
especially.
detail
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Cool. Or should we move on to the next one?
Yep. So
Wow, I love to see this evolution.
yeah, this one I it's one of my favorite ones. I saw this one in person. This one this is the one that Manet also did a version of, which I will probably maybe put in post while I'm editing. Just to see his version of the dancer. So this is basically, I think it's a dancer. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I think it's something else. But it is a woman at her toilette. It's called Woman at Her Toilette, 1875. And it's
No way.
once again a different kind of point of view than you would normally see. It's like she likes painting like mundane things, like but making it not really look that mundane. Like I guess her art critics at the time would call her the virtuoso of white because, like I was saying earlier, she used a lot of like white, gray, blue, and to kind of make it look different than just using white. Like she wouldn't just use white by itself. She would use other colors, and I like how it looks almost like shimmery, like everything, like her dress is like shimmering, like it just looks.
I love it.
I love this painting. It's like one of my favorite
This
ones.
this like her like late style looks so much more refined to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, that's
I
probably true
mean,
for
the
most
goal.
artists, but yeah, I know. It looks so elegant and almost fashion. It's like almost there's almost like a fashion influence, I feel like.
Yeah, it's. I really like this one. It makes it like yeah, it makes everything look so elegant when it's just somebody like getting ready or like somebody just like in their
Yes.
in
It
their
feels
room.
it almost feels like editorial.
Yeah, yeah, she kind of makes it kind of seem like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, and like you don't even really you just like you don't even notice that the arms are like kind of blurred. Like the arms like are like look almost like
I actually didn't notice
rushed.
that. You're right.
Yeah,
I
like that's like the fun thing about impressionism is that you don't even need it. You don't even need it. You don't need all the like the super sharp details. Like you have it a little bit more sharp on the parts that she wants you to focus on, and the other stuff you're like whatever. You don't like your eyes like
yeah.
kind of automatically complete it for you. Like your brain
I
just kind
also
of
love
like doesn't do
the
that.
yeah, I love the difference in color too from the mirror to real life.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good observation.
Like it's the mirror is a little bit darker, like I don't know, it's just I really like this. I think I still like the last one better just because I love green, but like this is a close second.
Yeah, I really like this one. But yeah, this is one of our most famous ones. And I'm really lucky that I got to see it in person.
I know
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
really cool.
cool.
But yeah. All right, we can go to the next one. So this
Oh,
one
wow.
is very different. What can you think is pretty different from this one?
The colors.
The colors. Would you say the brush strokes look a little different?
Yeah, like I see what you say now about like the zigzag. Um, but the colors are like so much more bold too. Like the blue especially is extremely bold.
Yeah, exactly. So this one's called Summer's Day. It's basically two women on a boat on a lake of the Bois de Beaune. I'm not even gonna, you know, it's a lake. It's a lake.
That's funny.
Who knows what it's called? But the brush strokes. The brush strokes are very rapid, and you can kind of tell around the edges of the painting is like unfinished. Like that's kind of like part of the style. Like you don't even
Mm.
need to worry about
It's almost like a
the
vignette.
edges. Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of cool. I like the zigzags. It's like different,
Yeah,
it's like not the kind of I prefer some of her other stuff more, but I do like that you can
I
see
agree.
so many different colors in the dresses. Like there's like the lady on the right, like she has like green, blue, white, brown,
Yeah,
pink, and just so many different
red.
things. And like I didn't notice before that there's like some ducks in the water or something.
I was actually
I didn't
noticing
see
that. It
that.
was one of the things my eye was drawn to after a couple of minutes because I was confused because I could see like the geese or the ducks, but there was a something black
Yeah, I don't know what
behind
that
them.
is.
I was wondering what it was, and then I realized it could be a duck, just a darker duck, but it also could be, it almost looks like a guy on
What?
his back. It almost looks like a person, like on a tube or something. I don't know. It's kind of
The
just where my mind
joys of
went.
impressionism, you can get your own um
Right. Like I
look
can
at it.
almost see like two eyes, like a sunglass pair. Like if you zoom in, you can almost see like two eyes and a
Wow, if you
nose.
zoom in, this is a really good quality photo, huh?
Yeah, it is.
You can really see everything. Wow.
Is that supposed to be sarcasm or?
No, 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 it's true. Like, you can't see
Okay.
everything. You can see everything. You can see all
No,
the
I
cracks in
really
the.
did think that you could see a lot. Yeah, that's what I thought too, but just checking because obviously impressionist.
Yeah,
Can't get
it's
too detailed.
yeah, it's funny. Like they say, like, oh, when you look at an impressionist painting, it's good far away, but up close, it's like a big old mess. It's like not really a mess,
Yeah.
but anyway, we can go on to the next one.
Oh, wow. Was this in the fall? I feel like the color palette is totally different.
I don't know. This is called Eugene Manet with his daughter at Bougival. Bougival.
That's cute.
I think so this is Manet's brother, her husband,
I was gonna say, yeah.
and they're like playing a game, and it's very cute. Once again, this is very different. You would never see, very rarely would see a man playing with this child in the painting. How scandalous. But it's, yeah, just showing a more modern, tender side of fatherhood. So it just kind of shows a little bit of a different style because she normally would draw, mothers. And even male artists, they would, when they painted like a family scene, it would be, a mother and a child. It would very rarely be like the father. So it's kind of just
Right.
gives another different perspective. And it's just interesting that you never really saw that. But yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of a warmer color palette. It does definitely look like fall. It's really cute. I really like this painting. It's just like an
Me
adorable
too.
painting. A lot of fast brush strokes. I would imagine that she just painted this like right while they were there, all in one sitting. So she has to go fast, I imagine. So yeah, I can't imagine. Actually, I'm so curious, like how long these paintings took. Like how long did it take them to do it? Like
Same. This is like
talking
such
a
a
couple hours or.
this is such a like I don't know, it's giving like cottage core almost. You
I
know
could,
cottage core aesthetic?
yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
Cottage core aesthetic for the people listening is like kind of like fairy vibes, like in the woods, like very like, mushrooms and like fairy world type of stuff.
it's a cozy kind
Um,
of
Cozy kind of vibe, like homely little kitchen.
flowy
You live in a
dresses.
hut that's covered with moss, like,
Yeah, you
that
live on
kind
a
of thing.
farm. Uh,
I feel
and
like this color palette is very similar to like that kind of vibe. And that's just like what it reminds me of. But
yeah, and I like the flower. I think there's flowers behind them, but
yeah, I love the flowers. It's one of my
it's
favorite parts.
yeah, it's really pretty. You can't really tell exactly that it's flowers,
I
but I
like the
mean,
use of like red in this picture a lot. And that's what kind of makes me think it's fall because like there's these red tones.
yeah. And then also the edges are kind of unfinished once again. So she did kind of,
Yes, they're unfinished, but she filled them in with red,
yeah, it's interesting.
which I think is cool. It looks very different.
But yeah, so the next one we can move on is, can you guess what it is?
I mean, it says the title kind of gave it away. So this is a self-portrait of her.
Yeah. There's a self portrait of her. She's holding a palette. I think that's what she's supposed to be holding. And so she's painting, I think. It's supposed to be painting. And this kind of really sums up her like fast brush strokes. It's 1885. And this is like actually about 10 years before she dies. Unfortunately, she did die in her 50s. Like she died pretty early.
Oh,
I know, it's very
that is
sad.
early.
Yeah, she's like 54, I think. And I can't remember. Oh, she died of pneumonia. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So, yeah, it's sad. But yeah, and so did Manet. I think Manet also died in his 50s. I think he died when he was like 50 or something. I can't remember exactly when, but so yeah, unfortunate that they didn't get to create more art, but yeah, you could see how like her face is like a lot more detailed, and like her jacket, but around the sides is definitely once again unfinished edges. You literally just see the canvas, just the pure canvas behind her, like around the sides and everything. But you can see that she's like flowers on her outfit there. I think that's supposed to be a little flower. Has a little
yeah, I think they're
scarf.
flowers.
Yeah. So
Very cute.
I like it. Oh yeah, and also it doesn't hide this kind of, because it's like unfinished. It's like more raw. It doesn't hide her aging. I forgot to mention that was also something that people commented on. Like, it's not like a self portrait where you're trying to make yourself look polished. She like shows her gray hair and stuff like that. Like she shows like that she's not like trying to make like a perfect portrait, which is also a bold statement to make
That makes
at the time.
sense.
So yeah.
I could tell that she had gray hair.
The last one we have 1891, her most Like this is the new. Well, I'm sure she made artwork after this, but this is like only a few years before she died. And this is. Would you say this is still pretty different style?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like she kind of evolved again. Um, like there's less zigzags. It's more like it's still impressionist, but it's heading into the territory of more like your artwork, like more tighter.
So this is actually called. People were saying that it kind of starts to look more like Art Nouveau, which was kind of the start, the art style that kind of became more popular after Impressionism, because the lines are longer and more flowing. So she kind of moved
Yeah.
from like the short kind of brush strokes to more like long. There's still noticeable brush strokes there. Like there's still like you can see them and they're not
Yeah.
completely blended, but they're definitely longer. So
Yeah, for sure.
apparently
So it's not really impressionism then.
it's still kind of impressionism. It's just kind of like a
It's like in between.
transitionary time
It's cool.
between those. But I like it. I think it's really cute. It's like a girl. It's called Young Girl with a Bird, which,
Aw.
pretty accurate title. And
Yeah.
but I like the blue and the greens and like the contrast with like the red hair. It's really cute.
Yeah, the blue and the green feel almost like tropical to me.
Yeah, it does kind of like she could have just drawn a tropical bird and she would have it would have
I
fit
was gonna
right in.
say, I was gonna say, like a tropical bird would have fit in here
Yeah, she
with
she put
like
a little
a red
toucan.
patch on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all she really needed.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently
Wow, this is
if you like let's real quick let's compare this one to her first painting or one of the
oh,
earlier
okay.
ones.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go to
Number
number
2, yeah.
number 2. Very different.
Yeah, very different. So
Here's number
from
3.
yeah, 1870s, 1970 to 1891, those 20 years, you can really
The
see
evolution
like
of an
a
artist. So
very
fascinating.
different style. Um,
I
and
really did like I really enjoyed seeing these in order and like seeing her evolution.
yeah, it's a lot of
It
fun.
makes me feel inspired for myself.
Yeah, exactly. For me too, honestly. I mean, I just enjoy looking at impressionist art and like I think it's just so much fun to look at and like for something that's like definitely not my style, it's just like it's just kind of I don't know why, it's just kind of refreshing to look at them. It's like I like the idea of someone just being like, I'm gonna paint this in a few hours, and this is what's gonna. This is I'm literally creating an impression of what I saw, and it's not gonna be exact. It's not gonna be like perfect, but it's gonna
But it's like how I saw
capture
it.
the feeling of it. Yeah, like it's just like I'm going to
Yeah.
capture what I see, and yeah, I appreciate that, and like it's fun how like you can get like a glimpse into into their lives or these like more like intimate moments than other kinds of paintings where maybe it's depicting some like a story or depicting a different kind of scene, but this one's more like personal. I feel like it's more like sometimes these paintings are more personal like to that artist. It's like very much about like their life, which is cool. It's like a cool insight. We don't have
It
photographs of them
is.
really. I
Not
mean,
yeah, I
some
mean,
artists
it's
would
an
have.
insight into them, but it's also an insight into the time period and history and everything.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I find them really inspiring. And I honestly did not know much about Morisot until like the exhibit that I went to a few days ago. And I've heard of her name before, just like maybe in passing, but a lot of times you mostly just hear about the male artists at the time. Um, so
Yeah.
it's fun, and I know we talked about other artists, but yeah, it's nice talking about a woman who like had to stand out and like had to deal with a lot of like backlash from like the artists at the time. And even if she did get along with a lot of them, she still had to deal with a lot of like rejection about something that she can't really change, obviously. So it's like, it's only the 1800s, you know. So she did a lot for I think women artists at the time, female artists. So props to her.
Yeah, thanks for like sharing these with me. I'm so glad that you like saw this in person and then you brought it to life on the podcast.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I mean, it's inspiring to me as I am trying to finish a big painting. Um, so, yeah, after this painting, I'm going to try maybe perhaps painting in a looser style. And then,
I'm excited.
I say that. I say that.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, you started to. Yeah.
I start to. And then I'm like, let me add more detail. Actually, about that.
That's okay. You can't really fix it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
got to feel right.
exactly. We got to got to create my own style,
Baby steps.
So our nostalgic memory for today is only from a few weeks ago.
Where we spent our first Christmas together, meaning you, me, and Rochelle, my sister. In probably like, I don't know how many years, but a handful of years.
Yeah, like 6, 7 years. It's pretty wild. Because, we're all
But
like
Beth's
busy.
mom, yeah, we went to Beth's mom's house and she cooked. And we had some traditional meals in there. We had some rabbit, some Portuguese soda, very good food, very good vibes. I got to see Isaac, Beth's brother, for the first time in freaking forever. And then we ended the evening playing Heads Up, one of our favorite games.
Oh, we cannot forget about playing on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, and we also played on the GameCube, and played some nostalgic video games like SSX3.
Yes, it was. That's a lot of fun. Because like the other day, like the day before Christmas Eve or something, I asked Josh. I was like, Josh, my brother, is the GameCube still working? And so he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get it plugged in. Let's get this going. Let's get this. So we I wanted to like get it set up. So because like I was feeling, you feel very nostalgic when you go back home. And
it was great. I literally felt like I was transported back in time, and we were playing the GameCube, and it was like 10 years ago, and we were playing around by like sliding the pillows, playing Avalanche by sliding on the pillows down the couches.
Girl, 10 years ago, more like
I'm
15,
more,
20.
yeah. I know. But even 10 years ago, we were doing that, though. We were just a little bit older.
Oh, 20? Oh. Either way, yeah, I know. It's been...
So we hope you guys enjoyed watching the evolution of Morisot. Yeah. And we'll be back soon with another episode. Our next episode is going to be what to look for if you're a client looking to hire an artist, red flags to look for, and vice versa. Red flags in clients that you as an artist might want to take note of.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys. We will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.